The winner of the small regeneration project is Thorner Cottage in Pirbright, and although this is a small project, it's beautifully done and brings new life to a listed building from the 18th century. The project is principally a new kitchen extension onto the existing building, bringing new daylight and transforming a low-ceilinged area into a much more spacious arrangement with new connections through to the back garden. And I'm here today with the owner, Mrs Lavender, and the architect, David Bell from Atelier DB, and I'm going to be asking them a few key questions. When you started on the project, what were the challenges that you had to face as you went on with the building?
Dealing with a listed property where we had a significant amount of discovery issues as the project went along. And I think on top of that we had to deal with a global pandemic and material shortage and supply issues which were unforeseen when we commenced in the January.
As I've come to learn through doing this project, the high water table in Guildford, trees are a particular joy on this project, in so much that we had to marry piled foundations with traditional foundations on a historic house, and just generally the knitting of new architecture and old architecture was a challenge that inherently drives exciting results, I think.
And when you got going into the project, what were the objectives and the opportunities that you saw when you were designing the building?
From buying the house, we realised that there was an area of unused space on the side of the original kitchen, and that the original kitchen didn't have the opening onto the garden to allow a modern flow through of space to be used in a family entertaining way. So it was to open the kitchen up and to enable it to become a more family focused centre of the original house, but also give us that connection into the garden.
The main drive was to create a space that was fitting for the time in which the family was in their lives. The house, by its inherent growth over the years, had evolved cellularly, and it had a side access door past a boiler house to get to the garden. So whilst functioning well as a kitchen in terms of spatially and organisations and such, it didn't relate to the garden. So I think the opportunity that we saw was the ability to increase apertures and openings and create new links. And that was the main drive of it, and all about bringing the outside inside and maximising natural light.
And now when you come back to it and you can sit in the space or come into the kitchen, what are the aspects that give you the most delight in seeing the finished building?
For me, I have a passion for old and new and the marriage of old and new. And seeing the kitchen and how we've transformed it from what was a very insular room and space that wasn't really a dwell space to transforming it into a room which enjoys amazing transformation of natural light that's brought in through a really clean contemporary roof light and a very sweet respectful oriel window which marries new and old materials together.
To create a space that is the true heart of the house, be it with friends or family, it's always a place that is the gathering and the focal point of any entertaining that we have here.